Hello there. I want to take a few minutes and take a quick video here. I want to break down a very important topic that seems to be crossing my plate quite often and really see if I can open up the idea of your mindset to really what goes on when we talk about the word digestion in association with weight loss goals, which would be body fat, and muscle building goals, which is going to be putting on some scale weight as well, if not circumference weight. So realistically, either one of those goals is going to have to take an extreme digestive change as well as mindset change. Meaning by digestive change and mindset change means we all just agree we have to eat more food to consume more calories, nutrients that actually will help you drop body fat. We also can agree that we have to have more calories of protein that are intaked to be able to build some muscle. So those things actually create a difference in thought pattern as we change those things because it's a different culture of nutrition than what you're used to. And then it also is going to have some digestive adjustments as well. And that's what I want to break down. This video is going to break into many parts. We're going to call this part one. And what I want to start talking about first is weight loss and what that culture does to do the exact desired goals that you're looking to get when it comes into weight loss. Not stubborn areas, not getting to a plateau, just complete total weight loss. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start talking about where you're at to understand where we're going to go. And so where we're all at right here is we have a certain amount of calories that come in through our day, and it produces a certain look. What we also have to understand is it produces a certain amount of digestive tract. And when I say the word digestive tract, it can be broken into a couple different directions. And for the sake of the video today, the digestive tract is basically going to be called the pooper tract, or how often we're going to go to the bathroom. It's one of those sensitive subjects that as a trainer nutritionist, most of the time you have to break those conversations down and really get on a level that can open up someone's mindset to where they're at currently, where they're going to go, and some of those changes that we're going to work in between that journey. So as I'm explaining some of these things, I like to get into someone's mind on how often do you go to the bathroom? Everybody thinks they're normal when they go to the bathroom until they listen to someone else's normal. And what I mean by those things is we could do it very simply in the effect of, let's look at a baby when they go to the bathroom and boy, my gosh, we're changing diapers like all the time and oh my gosh, they're a pooper little kid. And then as we get a little bit older, it kind of breaks into some different directions. And we may have some of those people that go to the bathroom quite often, 3-4 times a day. And then there's other people that could be once a day. And then there's some that's every other day, some that's every 2 days, some that's every 3 or 4. And I've heard many multiples of variations of those things in detail. And so I just want to assess where you feel you are may not be normal. And that's the first thing that I break down when it comes into the actual name of mindset. Because if you can understand what you think is normal, has produced something inside you that makes you want to lose weight. So even though it's normal, you want to change and become a little bit abnormal to lose weight. Let's talk about that first. If you're going to become abnormal, you have to understand that you're going to go through some changes, whether that be emotionally, physically, psychologically. All those things are going to become a little different than we're used to normal. Because if we want to lose weight, our normal thought pattern is whatever we do when we go to the bathroom, that's just what's normal. However, while the way we eat is very normal, the way we sleep is very normal, and the way we do training is very normal. However, if we're going to increase some of those normals, those things change. We're going to talk about the food that increases first. So if you have a certain amount of caloric intake and we're going to increase your food, the first thing that happens is that food comes in, but it also has to eventually come waste. Some things as that first comes into play is, how does it turn into waste? If your digestive enzymes and metabolism is not really fast, and if we're trying to lose weight, it needs to get faster, it may not be digesting the food as fast as it needs to inside that stomach small intestine, so that waste comes into play inside the large intestine and going into the colon. And so if we can think about those things in those directions, we're going to increase the amount of food, which is going to increase the amount that goes through the digestive tract. For the sake of math and what we're going to talk on, some digestive tracts or people are talking somewhere between 40 and 50 foot. Why don't we just call this thing 50 foot and we can work around those numbers and then continue to get to what we need to understand of the mindset and the digestive health. So based on food digesting slow, medium, or fast is how that moves through the tract, which becomes waste. So if we're an every other day kind of person or every other couple days, and it's not every time you eat something is wasting, That means that when you eat, it has to go through that whole tract before it comes waste. So if we ate once a day, and we ate it, it may take a while to go through 50 foot of track. And what we can think about visually would be this. If we took a gardener hose and took 16 ounces of water, which doesn't have any food source in it whatsoever, and we pour it in the gardener hose, and that's all you did for the whole day, would anything come out the bottom? It's a big thought. The answer is no. I've actually tried that. And so what happens is you have to pour another 16-ounce water bottle in until the hose of 50 foot starts to fill itself all the way up to the top, and you'll see some water up there on the top, and then when you go to pour the 16 ounces in, some of it can overflow unless you give it a little bit of pressure, then all of a sudden it comes out the bottom end, and then all this stuff starts going. Digestive tract's going to be the same way, guy, visually. I want you to think about those things. So we're going to eat some food, and it's going to come into the digestive tract, and it's going to work its way through 50 foot. If we don't give another, what I would call protein pacing every couple hours and increase that consistency, we're not going to fill up that track in the right period of time. So I want everybody to think about however long it takes to get nutrition set up to where you know you're good to have success. That becomes day one of creating the healthy track. Because from start of increasing your calories to where it becomes the formula that creates weight loss, we're filling up the colon, to the large intestine, to the small intestine, and if all those are full and we eat another meal into the stomach, that waste that doesn't get assimilated is going to hit the small intestine into the large intestine, and when it hits the colon, we're going to have to go to the bathroom. Here's what's interesting is we'll think that's a big movement because 5-6 foot of colon is a lot of poop, for lack of a better word, to come out. However, if only a little bit comes out, which is more than what you used to poop, remember there could be 45 more foot that's full and we're feeling bloated and distended. And so what our bodies need to do is have us continue the consistency and frequency of food coming in to circulate so it continues to push all this out. And when I think of those things as the bloat stays there as it starts to pull off the excess waste that's stuck to that lining wall that should be this big but could actually be this big. And so the bloat happens because we're having food come in here and open this thing up. If this opens up and stretches a little because there's a little bit of hard impacted poo in here, 10% volume to 50 foot of it opening to get more poop to go through could end up being a 500% uncomfortable feeling. I agree. The consistency of getting this to open up will continue to let food pass through it and scrape those walls, and as it scrapes and becomes healthy, the bloat can go away because there's no more stuck to the walls, and now what comes in consistently goes through the track of the intestine, large intestine, small intestine, and it has nothing stuck to it, and it comes out normal. And so if we eat 6 times a day, we're probably going to poop a couple times a day. If we only eat 1 time a day, we may only poop every other couple times a day. So let's think about those things. I'm going to expand on that a little bit more to get digestive health and take the mindset of understanding why that has to become digestive health and the metamorphosis it has to go through for it to be healthy. And then we're going to take that and advance that into part 2, part 3, and part 4 as we can still guide you guys to your success. This is the weight loss version of it. I know that we can advance that a little more into play when it comes into what does the small intestine do and it digesting into the large intestine, into the colon, how we keep those things frequently. So there are some tips and some tricks to get this to become efficient. The number one trick and tip is we got to be consistent so that as we consistently protein paste that stomach, it's going to consistently dump into the colon and the large intestine and the small intestine until that stuff starts to release. And then when it releases, as long as the consistency continues, that consistency, the track continues, and we don't want to slow that down whatsoever. We actually want our metabolism to speed up, and then it starts to break that food away faster inside the small intestine, and less waste is going to come in, and the bloat actually goes down too. I'm starting to go into part 2, so I'm just giving you a teaser of where we're going to go. We want to start on part 1, get our mindset focused that it's going to feel abnormal, get our digestive tract healthy, and our mindset's going to change around a new normal, and our body's going to shrink, and our stomach's going to be smaller than it ever was. If you got any questions, let me know. I love answering these things. I love filling you up with knowledge, insight, because it's going to help make everybody the best decisions possible. Okay, secrets to success.